Welcome, everyone. Students, parents, faculty and staff, alumni, grandparents, and friends. Thank you for coming together to celebrate the installation of our 20th head of school, Mick G. Most of you know that Mick officially took the helm of Roland Hall on July 1st, and, as you might imagine, he's had a busy first few months. Today, we are taking a step back from the classes and lessons, practices and meetings, events and games to honor this significant moment in Roland Hall's history and to share our hopes for the future. Roland Hall is what brings us all together. It is something we all have in common, no matter where you are or your relationship with the school. We all know what a supportive, dedicated community this is. I am fortunate to have graduated from Roland Hall, married an alumna, have 2 children currently attending the school, and serve as the chair of the Board of Trustees. I know I speak for many of you when I say that Roland Hall has taught me how to adapt to circumstances, to communicate with people from different backgrounds and experiences, to collaborate with others towards a shared goal, and to dedicate myself to a life of learning and purpose. Today, you will hear from current and former students of the school, a past colleague of Mick's, and our new head of school himself, as they speak to what makes Roland Hall special and how we can create the best possible future for our community. You will also see a special collaborative project between our dancers and visual artists, and hear about their process of working alongside one another to create meaning and connection. While many aspects of daily life look different right now, the values and culture of our school remain unchanged, and we can continue to achieve remarkable things together. Roland Hall has a rich history dating back to 1867, and our alumni have gone on to succeed in diverse fields. We have athletes and artists, scientists and psychologists, entrepreneurs and educators, several of whom have come back to teach at their alma mater, and many who also send their children to the school. Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from a local business leader, friend, alumnus, current parent of students, and Ice in His Veins golfer about his most treasured memories at Roland Hall and his enthusiasm around the direction Mick G will take our school. Please welcome Jeff Miller.
Roland Hall holds a very special place in my heart. I joined this community as a 4th grader, and I have many fond memories of my time here, from Color Day in the lower school to Candle and Carol and Battle of Classes in the upper school. The friends I made at this school are still my close friends to this day, and now that I'm a parent here, my relationship with this community continues to expand and evolve. I was just entering 7th grade when Roland Hall welcomed its last new head of school, Alan Sparrow, and he did a fantastic job leading this school for 28 years. Now we find ourselves at a pivotal moment in our history, not just for the school, but across the world, as we face unprecedented challenges during a global pandemic. Although we're dealing with many unknowns, I have great confidence in the future of Roland Hall because of the strong culture and excellent leadership, including the appointment of Mr. G. While he's only been here a few months, he has demonstrated the commitment to care that is the hallmark of our school community and a key factor in our shared success. Roland Hall's strength starts with its people, its teachers, administrators, board members, parents, staff, students, alumni, and friends who believe in the school's mission and dedicate themselves to working together to achieve our goals. You can witness this collaborative effort every day in our classrooms and meetings and on the athletic fields as we listen to one another and learn from each other. I'm excited to listen to Mr. G and learn from him and his experiences, and his vision will undoubtedly help move our school forward. And I know he's already listening to and learning from us as he seeks to honor our traditions and build on the strong foundation we have had over the last 150 years. I look forward to the day when we're all together again and when our students are all united on one campus, and I know Mr. G will help lead us there. Thank you.
Since many of you have not had the opportunity to meet our new head of school in person yet, we invited a former colleague of his to speak to our community. Karen Vella has known Mick for over a decade and worked with him both at the Winchester Thurston School in Pennsylvania and Allendale Columbia School in Rochester, New York. She is currently the Assistant Head of School for Development at Petty School in New Jersey. We asked Karen to share her thoughts on what shapes Mick's leadership, her experience collaborating with him, and how he supported her in her professional growth.
Good afternoon. My name is Karen Vella, and I've had the distinct pleasure of working with Mick in 2 different schools, 2 different cities across more than a decade. Knowing Mick for more than 13 years hardly makes me qualified to offer insights you will soon glean for yourself, but I'm happy to offer a primer. Before I do that, I'd just like to pause and extend my sincerest congratulations to Mick and Amy and Madeline, as well as my best wishes to the entire community as you begin to write this next chapter for Roland Hall together. Rather than write an anecdote or 2 to share with you, I took a quick dive into the treasure trove of photos I have been collecting over the years. It never fails. People are often asking, are there any photos of when Mr. G had hair? Indeed, I have one that seems appropriate to share. A lot has happened since this photo was snapped, but he still smiles like that and wears slightly narrower ties than that last I checked. I'm guessing others will share Mick's long list of accolades and achievements. Indeed, listing them here would take my entire allotted time if I tried. Oh, I could have pulled photos of Mick in stylish ties, standing at podiums, posing like a celebrity with students, but those seem a little too predictable. You have one of the best, and in case you didn't know it, you also have a superhero in your midst. And yes, I think he's a superhero who believes relationships matter. I've heard students call him unusually approachable, funny, a little hard to read sometimes, helpful, brilliant, all in, all the time, and sometimes a little competitive. While these are just a few shreds of evidence, I've seen it all in action, and best of all, Mick rarely takes himself too seriously. He's always a team player, and somehow he moves through life with more humility and humor than any other leader I have known. He is joyful and inquisitive, and he even knows when to ask for help, including when he requested not 1 or 2, but 3 extra name tags in case he can't find one of the 10 we gave him previously. In all seriousness, Mick does like to be prepared, and he is a deceivingly brilliant human being. But he is often at his best when he's unscripted and inspired by the curiosity and imagination of the people around him. Indeed, I think the magic of Mick's leadership is in his innate ability to inspire others to believe in a vision they have not yet imagined, and to walk side by side with them until they discover it. I imagine Roland Hall will soar to new heights and achieve excellence beyond measure under his leadership. But I hope that each of you will make time to enjoy the wit, humor, and brilliance that comes with the joy of knowing Mick. Thank you.
There is perhaps no one better to speak to the Roland Hall experience than a student who sits in our classrooms, both physical and virtual, every day. Samantha Lehman, junior class president and top-notch debater, has a few thoughts to share with us about the lessons she's learned at Roland Hall and the opportunities that await Mr. G and every member of our community at this unprecedented moment.
Hello, my name is Samantha Lehman. I'm a junior and this is my 12th year at Roland Hall. The other day our English class was assigned to write a vignette, which is a short description or account of something important to us or revealed something about our personality. I decided to write my vignette about my 6th grade self. So in order to do that, I had to consult some primary sources. That entailed me venturing under my bed to find a box where I keep my most important schoolwork and memories from throughout the years. And through the process of finding memories from 6th grade, I also came across some other important memories I had forgotten about. The first thing I found was my 2019 volume of The Tesserae, Roland Hall's literary magazine. I remember keeping this for 2 reasons. The first is that it's absolutely gorgeous, and the poems, prose, artwork, and photography are all amazing. The second is that I actually have a poem that's published in this volume. I remember getting my copy of The Tesserae on the last day of school, scrolling through, seeing my poem, and feeling like for the first time I could write good poetry that was worth reading. Then I started digging a little further through the box, and I found a spelling test from 2015, which was when I was in 5th grade. On this particular spelling test, I got a 100%, and I remember keeping this spelling test because it was the first time I got a 100% on a spelling test all year. Before this, I had considered myself a terrible speller, but this test made me feel for the first time like maybe I wasn't so bad after all. The last thing I found was a collection of notes from my classmates from 2nd grade, all wishing me a happy birthday. I remember getting my collection and thinking, wow, I am so cool. Look at all the people who think I'm a good friend. It was the first time I felt I truly belonged in this community and like there were really people who supported me here. By now you may be noticing a common theme. All of these works I found are symbolic of a first. Looking back at my experiences at Roland Hall, I realize how many firsts I've had while I've been here. The first time I thought I was a good debater. The first time I knew I was good at math. The first time I explored science beyond what I ever thought I was capable of. And these are not just isolated incidents either. They are representative of the broader environment Roland Hall creates for its students, which is one of firsts. Our community encourages students to try new things, put themselves in new positions, challenge themselves, and speak out. Our community seeks to create new experiences and students and create those firsts that I remember and am still experiencing today. So, as a community dealing with unprecedented times, it is our collective job to ask ourselves, how can we create firsts? How can we give students opportunities to learn and grow in new situations? How can we try something new for the first time ourselves? Mr. G has already been a process of those firsts. He is the first head of school Roland Hall has had in 28 years, and he's definitely the first British head of school Roland Hall has ever had. He's also the first newly appointed head of school, probably in history, to have to lead a community through a global pandemic. As the new head of school, it is your job to remember what firsts you have already had, continue to seek new firsts, find ways to provide students with those opportunities, and pave the path for others to follow you. Our whole community stands beside you as we take our first steps together. Thank you.
Our task, we were told, was to pick a song, and then each of us, we would talk about kind of the textures, the feelings, the colors, and movement-wise what we kind of saw in the song. And then separately, we were to make, the artist made a piece for it to represent it visually, and then the dancer was to represent the song. So it was a way of demonstrating this art and form of a song in different medias.
The collaborative process was really interesting to be a part of. I've known Ashley and who she is as an artist for a couple years now, and I've always liked to watch her dance in pieces that Roland Hall has put on, and just independently. She's super talented.
It was fun to kind of transfer artistic language that she knew and what I heard her saying, and then try to morph that into what I know in my movement language. That was one part I really enjoyed in the process.
Ashley, the way she sort of moves, she varies tone and texture a lot, and so I tried to mirror that when I was choosing a song. And so it was just really fun to work with her on that sort of thing.
We began the search for our next head of school a little over 2 years ago in the fall of 2018. It was a lengthy, thorough, and rewarding process, and I feel both honored to have participated and proud of how the entire Roland Hall community invested in finding the right person to lead us into the future. The school was in excellent shape. We benefited from an outstanding faculty, committed parent base, thoughtful board of trustees, strong balance sheet, and engaged student body. We were looking for a thought leader, skilled manager, visionary, and, as it turns out, an Englishman. Mick G has a fascinating personal history, a multitude of talents, and a dry wit. While we will all continue to learn more about Mick as a leader and appreciate all that he brings to our school, I am thrilled to hear him speak today about why he came to Roland Hall and where he hopes we will go together.
Thanks, Chris. First, it must be said that I would not be here at all without the support of my family, and I owe a few thank yous to them. I was the first person in my family ever to go to university, and I would have not been able to do so if it was not for the unconditional love and support of my parents. They worked 2 and 3 jobs at a time to make sure that we had the opportunity to pursue our dreams. Without their support, there would have been no university for me, no career in teaching, and no journey to Roland Hall. So Mom and Dad, thank you. I also want to thank my wife, Amy, and daughter, Madeline, for their support and for making this journey with me. Actually, they made it ahead of me. They altered their own paths to support my career and goals, and they have done it enthusiastically and without reservation. As a family, it has all been worth it. We are thrilled to be in Salt Lake City and part of the Roland Hall community. Community, that word comes up over and over around here, and it is the answer to the question, so why did we land at Roland Hall? Well, it was definitely a we decision. As I embarked on a job search, I was looking not only for the right school for me, but also for the right kind of community for our family. Our criteria included a top academic program, a great leadership opportunity, and an awesome community, with excellent teachers, talented administrators, and a board of trustees, my bosses after all, who had a strategic vision and took great care of the school. As soon as we set on campus for the first time, we knew that Roland Hall would live up to our expectations. We are all on our best behavior when we have guests, and many schools can create a positive climate. But culture, defined as the way it really is around here, beats climate every time. And Roland Hall's culture clearly shines through. We are a caring, collaborative, and kind school. This has been confirmed in my one-on-one meetings with over 80 members of the faculty and staff, and the parents I've met, some virtually and some in person, and the students that I see on both campuses every day. Thanks to Alan Sparrow's remarkable tenure, the dedicated work of a strong board of trustees, and a talented faculty and staff, Roland Hall is in great shape, financially and programmatically, and we are positioned to build on our current strengths. Throughout my educational career, one of my favorite questions to tackle is, so what? As a science teacher, I've always encouraged students to take on this question. We've gained all this scientific knowledge, so what? What will we do with it? What problems can we solve with it? What additional knowledge can we create with it? How can we make things better with it? My journey into educational leadership has basically been an extension of answering that question. Now that I'm finally here on campus, I find myself in another so what moment. 2020 has been a fascinating time to be in education and to be in a leadership position. It has also been an interesting time to make the transition to Roland Hall. Transitions, sometimes big ones, have been an integral part of my life and career. I've lived and worked at schools in different countries, both public and independent, and with students of all ages. Each new experience has given me great perspective, particularly about what constitutes a strong educational program. The best schools are constantly asking themselves, what do we keep? What do we cut? What do we create? So what is next for Roland Hall? The answer lies in how we respond to these questions. What can we do to improve our program and the lives of our students? What can Roland Hall students do with their knowledge and skills to make an impact in the world? The answer, I think, is a great deal. Roland Hall has proven that it is adaptable, resilient, forward-thinking, and focused on providing a world-class education. While we know the definition of world-class education will constantly evolve, we are poised to lead the way in imagining what that can be, and we could not be in a better position to do so. We have a supportive community, talented faculty and staff, and an excellent reputation. We're in the middle of a growing city surrounded by partnership opportunities with organizations and people who are eager to help us enhance our curriculum and create opportunities for students to make an impact. We have also developed exciting plans to modernize and expand our campus so that our facilities continue to support the quality of our program and we can strengthen our position as a regional asset. The future of Rowland Hall is bright, and I'm thrilled we're on a journey to fulfill our potential together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mick, Jeff, Karen, Samantha, our dancers and artists, and everyone who contributed to today's event. You all represent the spirit, grit, and promise of our school community. Rowland Hall has been blessed to have wise and dedicated stewards. Mick is no exception. The future of the school has never been brighter. I thank Mick and you for all that you have done and continue to do for this exemplary and welcoming community.